Are altcoins finally dead? Did this crash kill them? Talking serious here, guys. Is the altcoin game over? Did our days of catching a 20x on some mid-cap altcoin end 4 years ago? Are we now better off just running for cover as we just stack Bitcoin, buy data center stocks? This is the big concern that I want to discuss in today's video. Now, we'll be looking at a few different total market cap altcoin charts. I'll present my concerns and where I think some opportunities still exist for outperformance within the altcoin market versus, data centers and GPUs and shit like that. So with all that said, let's dive in. We'll begin with the technical analysis. So here is the total 2ES. So that's the total minus Bitcoin and stable coins. Okay, so just pure altcoins, baby. Here's my big concern about this chart. The total 2ES still hasn't challenged its former 2021 all-time highs. Well, Bitcoin did that 20 months ago. That's a problem. We're lagging severely, but the whole cycle's been lagging in some very interesting ways. It's been a very fascinating cycle, let's say. It's a problem, especially because, well, where we are in the calendar year, Q4 is usually bullish as heck. On a more positive note, the total 2ES is still firmly within its broad range. It started back in January 2024. And on the daily time frame, still of the 200-day EMA, which is the big bull bear line in the sand. So we're still actually structurally fine and ready to pump at any time. Despite the big crash that happened last week, we're still okay. Next is the total 3ES, which is crypto's total market cap minus Bitcoin, ETH, and stable coins. Obviously, we're a bit deeper in altcoin land with this one. ETH makes up 15-20% of the total crypto market cap, so this is really more slanted towards just altcoins, right? Here's the interesting ways that this chart diverges from the previous one. First, notice that not only has the total 3ES not challenged its 2021 all-time high, it still hasn't gotten back to its local December 2024 peak. That's disgusting. And you'll remember that the total 2ES did technically put in a higher high just before last Friday's crash. And second, the total 3ES is pretty much resting on its 200-day EMA right now. So bounce off support, hopefully. Well, we've still got about a $40 billion gap between this EMA and the total 2ES. So the takeaway here is that without Ethereum, crypto's altcoin market cap is, well, just a giant red flag, right? Just one of those girls who has a lot of dude friends, works as a dancer. Anyway, the last chart is the others chart on the weekly. Before we get into that, guys, check this insane deal. We get $3,000, listen up. FEMX, one of crypto's OG exchanges, just dropped the most insane promotion I've ever seen, and it's super limited time, so you better listen to this. It's only running for a week. Deposit $10,000, they're literally giving you $3,000 cash back. That's wild, okay? This is for new and existing users, so if you're new, use the link right down here. If you've already signed up using my link to FEMX, go deposit. Put in $5,000, you get $1,500 back, or $3,000 to get $350 back. These deals are wild. FEMX has deep liquidity, it's secure. I've literally been using them for years. Available to anyone, anywhere. That's you. You might need a VPN in some cases, okay? Don't miss this one. This is a big deal. Link down below, make your deposit, and lock in one of the best crypto exchange bonuses that I've seen in a very, very long time. So, pure altcoin land in the others chart, okay? This is no Bitcoin, no Ethereum, no Solana, no XRP, no stables, no BNB. It's just the same patterns that we've just observed, only worse. The others didn't even get close earlier this month to challenging its prior December 2024 local top. And on the daily, it's bumping up against the 200-day EMA as resistance. Altcoins, of course, just got slaughtered, so it's not surprising. Look at these three charts together. What is the major takeaway? Well, it's this. No matter how you slice it, the altcoin market obviously has not broken its 2021 all-time highs yet. This market has been led by Bitcoin. Altcoins are still broadly within the wide rectangular range that's been established over the past 20 months. Oh, sure, there's been some individual runners, hyperliquid, whatever, right? But for the most part, altcoins have been slaughtered, especially if you're just blindly holding altcoins for years on end. As you start moving further and further out on the altcoin risk curve, it just gets worse and worse. To put it another way, as you start moving into lower and lower market cap coins, the performance degrades significantly. Those are the charts, guys. Charts don't lie. You might not like what they tell you, but they don't effing lie. Now, let me point out my high-level concerns about the altcoin market right now. We've talked about this stuff on the channel to some extent before, but let's just lay it out here today. The new money coming from institutions, it is not going to your random dog coins, okay? That's what retail will buy later if they come in, but they're buying stocks right now. The new money is flowing into Bitcoin via institutions. not necessarily flowing down altcoins. OGs are cashing out for money and then going and buying stocks and shit, or villas or mansions or whatever. At least we're not seeing enough institutional flows in altcoins to break last cycle's all-time highs, because the bid for altcoins is very weak right now. As the flash crash reminded us, there was very little bid down below. Yes, altcoin ETFs may move the needle for some of the big cap altcoins when we get those. Solana, XRP, Cardano, Avalanche, all that kind of stuff, right? And yes, digital asset treasury companies are even buying up some smaller coins like Fetch Coin and stuff like this. But we have largely lacked retail bid on the broad altcoin market. Retail, if they come back, if they've not been burned too badly at this point, will buy altcoins. Institutions are being extremely selective. They're not buying your random BC bullshit bags. They're not buying your dog coins. The altcoin market right now looks more like a circular firing squad. VCs dumping on retail, exchanges screwing everyone, retail dumping on each other, narrative changing every week or two, weekly runner followed by a massive dump on that weekly runner. Everyone's just trying to recoup their losses from the last cycle or from earlier losses this cycle or from losses last week. Then add on the fact that we haven't had any kind of major altcoin season yet. December 24, we had a temporary altcoin impulse that lasted a few weeks. Some kind of major altcoin move should have, in theory, started by now. And there's been some nice runners. There's been some that have shown strength, but they're very few. Given what we're probably looking at right now is an extended cycle for Bitcoin, we'd think that there'd be more altcoin movements by this point. My point is we're really in unknown territory right now when it comes to altcoins. So those are the concerns, simply stated. And let's discuss the opportunities moving forward, because of course there's always opportunities in these markets. Let me put it this way. While the vast majority of altcoins are headed straight to the graveyard, many are already there. It's always been the case. It will always be the case. It's part of the Wild West reality of crypto. A few of these altcoins will do mind-bendingly well. Therefore, our opportunity as altcoin investors is that we remain selective about which ones we're actually buying in the spot markets. There's millions and millions of altcoins. Basically, none of them have bid. I think at this point it's probably 100 or so that are even investable. And that number is even debatable, or probably less. That's how bad it is. You can speculate and gamble on lots of them, but if you're actually trying to invest in something, very, very small list of coins that are actually investable. Most are just short-term flips. Most are really nothing more than that. And it's kind of always been that way with crypto, but it's getting even worse, okay? New coins coming out all the time. Most of them are garbage, not worth buying. So it's on us as individual investors to be intelligent about, well, what we're buying. Be extremely selective. Remember, it's your money. Don't get caught in the firing squad. Look, the markets are down right now. I get it. But good investors generally buy fear and sell greed, okay? The market is very fearful on altcoins right now. Sentiment is incredibly low on altcoins right now. Probably an opportunity for the right coins, not for most of the shit, okay? So my point is we need to be very, very selective about which altcoins we're gonna be buying. Buy when there's fear in the market, because we want the best performance possible through the end of this quarter and through into 2026. Here's another way to put it. You need to have confidence in your selections. Don't borrow confidence. Don't borrow thesis from someone else. You got to do the work. You got to understand why you're putting your hard-earned money in any of this bullshit, okay? Especially when the markets are bleeding, you have to be ready to deal with the volatility. So you have to ask yourself, if I buy this altcoin now, will I still have confidence in it tomorrow, even if it's down another 10 or 20%? Or look at your current bags and say, if I had to buy these bags right now, is there any chance in hell I'd actually buy these coins? Maybe you need to cut some bags in that case. If the answer is no to either of these questions, then you need to rethink your selections. Now, the last thing I want to say is that even though the altcoin markets don't look great, never underestimate greed. Pure, simple, beautiful, disgusting greed. A few green candles change sentiment real fast. And sentiment right now is an extreme fear on altcoins, and that can flip very quickly. The altcoin market has a short-term memory. As soon as other people start making money, candles start going up, everybody else wants to jump in too. And at some point, we'll see a massive retail surge flood into the market. Money from massive stock wins will start flooding over into some of this random bullshit in the crypto market. Do not underestimate the ability of the others, that's the top 10 coins excluded, so all the altcoins, for them to pump when the time comes. It can happen real hard, real fast, and you have to take profits when that happens, or the market will take them for you, as December 2024 proved to us. The others ripped 121% in just 1 month, and I don't think that's the last time we'll see moves like this. The altcoin sentiment right now is likely closer to a bottom than not. But again, the main point is that given the time of the year that we're in, the altcoin market appears thus far to be making multi-cycle lower highs, and that we're now likely in an extended cycle for Bitcoin, a few of the other top coins. The rest of the market, it needs to catch bid. It needs to find new ways to entice people. And again, there's a few dozen, maybe 100 or so coins that are investable. The rest of this shit, man, you got to be careful with your money, okay? So the time has come for us to be smarter, more selective investors if you're going to be venturing into the dangers of the altcoin markets. Otherwise, man, just buy data centers, baby. Data centers, the new oil. Let's go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.